The boys are back in town. Welcome to the official MWA podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Jonathan Cole, and as you can see, Dobby and Jacob are not here with me today. They are fucking gone. They will be on tomorrow for the next podcast when they talk about night 2, because today we're going to talk about fucking night 1, but I'm not alone, because you see, I got two very special guests with me. One of them was on this card. It is Jacob Cage. He faced Adam in a really great fucking match. Jacob Cage, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm really good. I'm glad to be here with a group of real Americans. Fuck the
Hell yeah.
Brits. We're going to show how a podcast is really done.
Fuck yeah, dude. And as you know, Rory is here once again on the podcast. She was not on this show. They were in the crowd reacting the entire time. But you know what? We love to get feedback from the fans. So Rory, how does it feel to be on the podcast again?
It's awesome. I had a rough start last time, but now I'm here, and I was technically on XC. I did do like 7 minutes of comms on the main event of night 2.
For a record 7 minutes. But yeah, but before we get into the show, we got to get through the promos first. And I was told to do this because Dobby and Jacob didn't want to do fucking promos. But if the pod listeners are listening to this, just make sure you send in like 15 promos in the promo chat so that they have to review it. Just make their life a living hell. So just like spam promos about fucking whatever, as long as it's as it makes fucking sense within the confines of your storyline. But anyway, we got two promos here. The first of which comes from fucking Jimmy Sins, and Jimmy Sins. This promo, it was a promo that got across, what Jimmy's entrance was. He flew in on from an airplane, and then he fucking, he dived with the parachute. He fucking crashed during his entrance, by the way, because he forgot to put on like fucking slowness to like make him slow fall from the top. So when you literally like watch that entrance back, like you cannot see Jimmy because like he is like fucking crashing down from like the heavens, and he just like crashes onto the fucking stage. But this promo is him saying like, "Hey, yeah, my attire, it's based off tricks. I'm doing this for tricks tonight, and I'm gonna become a two-time champion." So yeah, I guess. I mean, that's the entire promo. I mean, it's not really like one of those promos where it's like defining, but it just like got its point across for like the main event, which we'll discuss later tonight. But it was just, it was a fine promo from Jimmy. Not like anything to write home about, obviously, but that's not what this promo was trying to encapsulate. But yeah, that's pretty much that's really, yeah. There's really nothing else to comment on. Uh, do any of you two have any thoughts on it, Jacob, Rory?
I think you basically summed it up well. I mean, it was a 50-second promo just to establish his entrance and his theme, entrance of his attire, and I think that's what it did perfectly. It wasn't anything like crazy, nothing to write home about, but it was just like a cool like hype video.
For sure, for sure. Rory, any thoughts?
You summed it up pretty good.
Alright, well, I guess you can fucking move on to Saints then. Saints has a promo, but this was after night 2, of course, and on the podcast they will discuss. Actually, wait, no. He did have a fucking match. Excuse me, I'm getting mixed up here. He did have a match on night 1. Of course he faced Steve. He fucking lost because Kev gave Steve god powers. Steve became a god and hit him with a spear. 1, 2, 3. So this promo is basically like Saints officially stepping away from the MWA for a little while. He says like, yeah, you know what, man? I'm not going to be here for a little while. Breezy, I need you to take over things for the SCS. The SCS is my child. The Steel City Saints has been the most important thing in my life for the past 2 years. And god damn it, I'm not just going to step away and have it end like this. Breezy needs to fucking recruit whoever into the SCS while I'm gone. And when I come back, there'll be fucking hell to pay. But that's basically the general gist of the promo. But I still think, like, in terms of Saints promos, this is a really great fucking promo. Like, all things considered, because we all know that, like, Saints is a phenomenal promo when it comes to, like, you know, like, if you were to ask the server, like, oh, what's your, like, top 3 promos of all time? Who's in your, like, top 3 best promos in the entire server? Usually, like, everyone puts Saints on that list, because Saints can like get like he just sounds like so fucking menacing when like cutting promos and shit. Like he's that fucking guy when it comes to like getting his shit across, and he does it in such a great manner. And this promo is like a shining example of that, I would say. So yeah, that's basically what Saints had to say. You know, he's stepping away for a little while. Breezy will be in charge of the Steel City Saints, and that's really all there is to it. Jacob, Rory, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think this promo has a lot more implications for Breezy than Saints, because this is the second time Breezy has been a part of SCS, and he has like no accolades to show for it. He's kind of always just been like a member, and I think setting him up to be the leader and giving him like a direction for the first time in a while is gonna do a lot for him. I'm kind of excited to see like where the SCS goes under Breezy and what he can accomplish. So I think this is a good direction.
For sure, for sure. Um, Rory, you have any thoughts on this? Any thoughts on Saints promo before we get into the show?
It was definitely interesting because now with Breezy in charge and also him mentioning like recruiting members does kind of just open up a lot of doors to like what could the SCS turn into until Saints return.
Yeah, I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I want to see Jacob Cage turn heel and join the Steel City Saints. I already had a big fucking story planned on the podcast where it was like Saints and Breezy are in the ring with like Jacob, Wolf, and Aliku. Wolf and fucking Aliku are sizing up uh Saints and Breezy, and then Jacob Cage like it blindsides them from behind, fucking beats the shit out of them, and then he joins the Steel City Saints, and then he fucking comes out to "I'll Whip Your Head, Boy" by 50 Cent, and the world will be perfect. That is
Uh,
Jacob Cage heel turn in a perfect world.
all I gotta say is DDD is my baby, so if it ever ends, it ends with me. Uh, but I want to put my own like name in the hat for who I think could potentially join the SCS, and this is gonna be like kind of a crazy one. I'm not sure how much sense it makes story wise, but Breezy and Jimmy have a lot of history. Jimmy has like no friends right now, and he's basically at like the worst spot in his career. He might not even re-sign his contract. So wouldn't it be, maybe Breezy might offer something to Jimmy uh, in the SCS that will make him re-sign his contract. So that could be something interesting. I'm not sure how plausible it is, but that'd be a big swerve for real.
That's a really interesting thought, cause like the idea of Jimmy being a heel in this era is like I feel like a lot of people would like vote against it because Jimmy is the top. I would say Jimmy's like the top babyface in the company right now in terms of like people who, in terms of like promos and like in ring and like getting his character work across. Like I think Jimmy's like that, like a top guy in terms of like being a face. Like he is the definitive babyface right now, and him like turning heel would kind of be like John Cena's heel turn from like Elimination Chamber. It'd kind of be like Hulk Hogan dropping the leg at fucking Macho Man at Bash of the Beach '96.
I'd have to agree with that. I feel like a good comparison is kind of like Brian Danielson. Like he's not like as big of a face as like Cena or Hogan were, but he's always been kind of like a wholesome dude. Like always kind of like a face and a good guy. When he had his heel run upon his return, that's kind of what it would remind me of.
God, could you imagine that like Jimmy becomes like in kayfabe a fucking vegetarian and like just like fucking Brian Danielson, he has like a fucking eco-friendly gimmick where like he wins the world title again, but like he makes it out of like eco-friendly shit. Like wait, what did Brian use for his fucking like eco-friendly belt? Let me look this up.
Was it wood?
I feel was it what Daniel Bryan do
Is,
we?
is Jimmy gonna start flying wooden airplanes that run off of the electricity or solar panels?
Jimmy starts fucking riding his entrance. He just starts riding through on a fucking bicycle because he doesn't want to use fucking gas. That'd be fucking awesome, Jimmy. If you're listening, you gotta fucking do that. But yeah, that's a really interesting thought, Jimmy and the SCS. I feel like him and Breezy like finally like coming to terms that like yeah, like I know like Jimmy and Breezy had that like father son dynamic kind of like that trainer and like that trainer and trainee kind of dynamic. So them together as heels would definitely be like good television, I would say. But with that, we can finally get into night one of Extreme Chaos 9, and the fucking first match on the card is a crazy, crazy fucking match. It is Kev Dog versus Shift in a Kev Rules 2 out of 3 falls, light 2 block cabin, falls count anywhere death match. And what a fucking match this was. Holy shit, this was insane. I think this was the perfect opener to Extreme Chaos, and we saw his Shift come out the title fight, playing him live to the ring, and I made the fucking goofy ass call on commentary saying title fat instead of
Title
title fat. I don't know why I said that. I fucked up. CTE kicked in. Yeah. And also we saw Kev during his injury. He got fucking struck by lightning from the fucking gods above, and then he just comes out as the fucking Phenom. The Phenom is back. The 3-0 record of Kev Dog 1. He is just coming out. His eyes are like pitch fucking black. Everyone's going batshit insane. Like, they really set the fucking precedent for what this match would be with like the entrances, and I think this shit was crazy. Like, it was a bit slow at the start, I will say, because of like I think Kev was lagging, and like I think he crashed once, I believe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
his ping was like it was insane. You could hear his mic like cutting out at the start too.
Yeah. But I will say they did pick it up a little bit, like after like Kev got his shit together. But
Mhm.
insane fucking match right here. I mean, the ending of this is like fucking gnarly because I thought it would be Kev like winning after like jumping off of the stage because I knew like somebody was gonna jump off the fucking stage and you like the big spot. But Shiv
Mhm.
doing it and like beating Kev by a score of 2-1 and like defeating Kev's streak at fucking Extreme Chaos, and not just that, but like this is Kev's final match. Kev fucking retired. He's done. So Shiv has the honor of saying, "Yeah, I beat Kev's streak at Extreme Chaos and I retired him." Like this dude, Shift TV is gonna be a fucking big time player by the end of this year. He will do great fucking things. He is gonna get the fucking push of a lifetime. He is gonna fucking do a lot of great shit, and I hope that like Shift like coming off of this win, fucking like I hope he becomes like Spotlight champion. I think Shift will win the Spotlight championship at some point. But um yeah, crazy fucking match right here, man. You guys got any thoughts on this? The match itself?
Yeah, I agree with the whole shift head sentiment. Because I think it was a bit overshadowed with Kev being beheaded after the match. That the torch was kind of passed from Kev to Schiff, and like even with Kev giving the divine touch to Steve, like a lot of people, I think kind of forgot that this win was so big for Schiff. It kind of like cements him as a second coming of Kev. Because the both hardcore wrestlers have like insane mindsets, and I think it was a really good win for Schiff. Obviously, like I was super excited for the match. It was my prediction for match of the night, just because it's like two of my favorite wrestlers, and I thought they'd have an insane match. And obviously, the beginning was a little awkward. Not anything in their control because of the ping and just like the lag. But I do think the match kind of missed like an element that Kev matches usually get to. Obviously, like the ending with Schiff rolling off of the London Bridge and crashing through the light tubes and the Kev to win, like that that was definitely like a Kev match right there, Kev and Schiff combined, and I think that was really fun. But I just think there was like something missing that Kev usually reaches in his matches. And someone did point out Kev was on the mic and Schiff wasn't. And I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing that Schiff wasn't grunting in the call. But it definitely it's funny when you have Kev and somebody else interacting during the match through voice. Like I think Saints versus Kev was a perfect example for that because it would be like. Saints saying, "I hate you, Kev," and then Kev would be like, "I'm a fucking machine," and just add the level of comedy to it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that's like super severe to the match. But all in all, I think the end of the match definitely was perfect. And I think it sets Schiff up for a big run, like you said.
Yeah. You do make a good point about like something missing from this match because like it's still a really good like Kev match, but like I feel like there was because I think that one thing missing is kind of like Kev doing a lot of the like supernatural shit he does because like we know he can like fly, levitate, do all that shit. I feel like that was missing from this. You know what I mean? I feel like
And
no, you go on it.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Because we've seen him like get electrocuted in a bathtub, or like, or die, or like, or break his bones mid-match, and then re-levitate, and like all this crazy stuff. And I think maybe a reason why they didn't do that is because of what happened later in the show when the lightning struck his head and he got brought back. Maybe they didn't want to overdo it with having him die like twice or something crazy. And in his entrance, he also got electrocuted. But I think that's the main thing. I think there's just been so many matches and so many insane things he's done. I think the match was so good. I think it was just he didn't do anything that like was that insane. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I would have wanted like Kev to like levitate to the top of the fucking like XC logo. Schiff like climbs up the fucking London Bridge, gets on the XC logo with them, and they just do like some fucking big dive off the stage.
That
Schiff
would
and
have been
Kev
insane.
go through some light tubes. Like that would have been fucking like insane. And I feel like that would have been like the like the tie a bow on like a Kev rules match. But again, it's still a really good fucking match, like despite like those nitpicks, but yeah, I like that's the match itself, but then we realized that like after the match it's fucking Saints and Breezy come out, they beat the shit out of Kev. Um Breezy holds Saints from behind. Saints lifts up a fucking axe and beheads Kev, holds up his fucking head. Everybody is like fucking appalled. They are booing Saints. Saints is the worst person ever. Generally insane stuff right here. To behead Kev on fucking XC, like that's like the most Kev thing ever. Just like him getting fucking beheaded. But then obviously we know what happens, of course, in the fucking co-main with Steven Saints. But insane shit right here all around the match and the post-match stuff. Rory, we don't get to hear you often. What did you think about all this, like match and post-match?
So for an opener to the first XC I've ever seen live, it was it was awesome. Kev, I've only ever seen like one match when he was like the Phenom, but I just think that entrance was so fucking awesome. And the match was like, yeah, it was slow at the start because like Kev lagged and it was kind of interesting. Like I went in with expectations mostly just like based on like other Kev matches where I thought there was gonna be batshit crazy stuff happening throughout the entire match, but I think at the same time, I mean, they were able to deliver anyway, and it was sick.
Yeah, they did deliver here. Like despite all that, like I think this like delivered really well. And for Shift's first XC, like beating the streak of Kev, big fucking accomplishment. So like kudos to him. But
Yeah. I'll add one thing about the post match. This might have just been like a me thing. But I think some people might have had the same like confusion. I didn't necessarily think that Schiff like joined the SCS or turned heel, but
Yeah.
it was a little confusing at the end where he was like, "All right, fuck you, Kev," and then SCS came out like right after. It almost like seemed like it was a setup, but I don't think that was the intention there.
No, no, I don't think it was. Yeah, everyone was like, fuck you, Shiv." And then, like, Shiv has to, like, go in the second chat and be like, I'm not joining those fuckers. I'm not
Yeah,
joining them.
he had to go on Twitter and denounce them for what they did.
Yeah. Um, yeah. God, just crazy shit all around, but yeah, a great opener here. That's really all I gotta say about that. And assuming we don't have any more thoughts on match and post match shit, we can get into your match, Jacob, with fucking Adam.
Hell yeah.
Uh, Adam comes out in a big fucking book, his own book, Man of the Moment, a fucking gigantic sized book. His fucking oval head, the fucking like circle on the stage, yet where the XC logo is changed to like fucking his very own book, and he comes out with his own book. Like this dude is just shilling his own book in his fucking entrance. Like I can't stand this guy. I kill this guy right now. Um uh and of course Jacob comes out with the craziest fucking prelude I have ever heard to an XC entrance. This was possibly the funniest entrance out of like any XC night. Like this was like some stellar fucking shit right here. You got the fucking overhead voice, and he's like, he's burying Adam the entire time, and fucking like towards the end, the like you can hear like the fucking fucking voice just be like, yeah, I don't get paid often for this. Jacob just told me to read a bunch of shit, threw money at me. Yeah. Anyway, Jacob Cage, everybody, and then Jacob Cage comes out on the fucking Tie Fighter, and he's dressed up as and he's got the fucking black cloak on and the fucking black robe, and yeah, cool fucking entrance from Jacob Cage, funny entrance, um, popped a lot of people, uh, yeah, really good stuff right there. But the match itself, I would say, is still a really good match. I like this match a lot. Um, I think it was great, and it was just a good match. You know what I'm saying? Because Jacob Cage, beat the shit out of Adam. Of course. We saw the package pile driver at the very end from Jacob, which was fucking awesome. I love the package pile driver. I think more people should do the package pile driver. I'm glad Jacob busted that out and got the win over Adam. Uh, but it feels like Jacob got like all of his fucking like finishes and signatures into this match. He got the fucking twisted T-bone suplex. He got the fucking party foul. He's got it all here. He busted out all the stops here. Death Valley Driver, Beer Belly Splash. Jacob Cage just hitting the fucking. He had everything in this match, and I think it came across really well in this one. I think Adam playing like the smarmy fucking like heel in this. I think this is a perfect character for Adam. I know we've said that a lot, but like Adam being like, the guy who like shills his own book. He pretends he pretends to be something like he's not, and I think that like character is perfect for Adam, and he's taken this character and like run with it like so fucking well. You know what I'm saying? But um yeah, just a general good match right here. I don't like because I could like say like a lot of the moves they hit in this match, but it's not that this match was like weak or anything because it certainly wasn't. This match still delivered on all fronts, but um, I just thought it was good. It's one of those matches where like you really don't have much to say because it was just really fucking good. But yeah, that's the match. Jacob Cage fucking won with the package pile driver as previously mentioned, and Aliku went on to face Koloki at night two. So yeah, the whole stipulation of this match was if Jacob Cage won, then Aliku would get his match with Koloki, and if Jacob Cage lost, then Aliku like does not face Koloki. He's fucking fired forever. He will forever work at fucking Dobway making sandwiches. Um, yeah, that's the match, and really good fucking shit right here. Jacob, do you have any comments you want to add? Like any backstage thoughts?
Y-
Like,
Yeah, so I can give a couple backstage things. I guess I can start with how the match was even like how we came to make the match. Um, I don't think me and Adam was planned for Unleashed. It was not supposed to be an Extreme Chaos match, and I don't know what my original plans were, but I do know that Iluka was always supposed to return. I don't even know if he was always supposed to face Kaloki, but I do know that Iluka was supposed to return. So, I would have guessed maybe I would have been in like the Gossamer match, but with Iluka returning, I don't think that would have happened. But I don't know what my OG plans were, but this is what happened. And honestly, I'm content with it. And then the entrance was I kind of thought of it like a day before because I really had no idea what I wanted to do. We did decide like 2 weeks before that Adam was going to come out in the book like he did, and I was going to come out in like the solo cup, pull out a rocket launcher and blow up the book, and then zip line to the ring, which I think would have been really fun. But I just like I didn't like how my stage looked. I thought it would have been like too bland, and I wanted to do my own thing. And so I think that worked out with what I ended up doing for the entrance. And yeah, like you mentioned, I agree. I think the match just like, it was my own match, but I think it did what it needed to do, and it was good.
yeah,
Like, obviously, being in like my past like two matches have kind of been like an opener or like very early card. So I don't expect to have some like 15-minute like main event level match. Uh, but I'm content with how both matches have been because I think we've exceeded what we were expected in both matches, and also I obviously we had an established storyline like the whole Liku thing has been an ongoing storyline for like it's got to be like 8 months now, maybe a little less, but it's been a long time. So it's not like this was just thrown together. I mean, there was obviously a storyline there, and this was to culminate all of that. So I know like Tim Smith mentioned that the build was a little weak, but I think the storyline carried that, and I couldn't make like any Unleashed as before the show, so that's why there wasn't as much interaction between me and Adam. We
yeah,
probably would have had more segments together if that was the case. But I don't think it needed a crazy build.
yeah,
And I want to say my intention for the match. I think you kind of picked up on this perfectly. Um, Obviously, I have the size advantage on Adam, so the whole idea was Adam is the vet. We're both vets, but Adam's a smart guy. I mean, he writes books. I was trying to overpower him early in the match, which is what I did. But when I went for a splash, he rolled out. When I went for a dive, he countered it. Like everything I did, he was able to counter. And what ultimately cost him is I was just the bigger man, and I had more to fight for him, and fight for than him. And I think I think we did a good job showcasing that.
yeah, for sure. I would say that like you two told a great story in that match. You know, the size advantage, and you fighting for a greater cause and having more pride in that than Adam. Uh, but yeah, like you said, it did what it needed to. Like I agree that this match didn't need like a crazy fucking build, but for the build itself, it was still a good build, I would say. Not a terrible build, but still a pretty good one. Like the segment where like you and Adam are in a fucking doorway and you two are arguing amongst each other, like that's funny shit right there. Where you're like, you see me in a fucking ring, see me in a fucking ring. What's your fucking name? Adam. Yeah, all right, well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
I think another cool tidbit to the match was like Adam's a writer, so of course he's gonna like research his opponent and like know a lot about him, not just in ring but like outside the ring. So I think him doing like hitting the Gem City landing, because that was Bryce's move.
Yeah, that was fucking
Uh,
awesome. The callback.
Yeah, and then like pouring out the beer because of course that's gonna make Jacob mad, and then handing him the shooter to distract him, like all those little tidbits that he did, I think was like really good for his character and added another level to the match, and he was really easy to work with as well.
Hell yeah. Um I think Adam's a cool guy. I did have a match with him, but it wasn't technically Adam. I think somebody slash D'd as him. I think that was slick bait, but I would love to work with Adam sometime. I think Adam would be a really cool fucking guy to work with and like do a bunch of shit with, because with his like writer gimmick, like the possibilities are endless. Like you could do a bunch of shit with that, like believe it or not. But yeah, again, this was a good match. It did what it fucking needed to, and it ruled. The story was great. The little tidbits you mentioned were great, and yeah, pretty much it. Rory, any thoughts on this match in particular?
Uh, Entrance of the night for me, Jacob's entrance, and yeah, it was just a really good, solid match and had a happy ending. So that's all I gotta say about it.
Hell yeah. And with that, we can fucking move on to Misty and fucking Avery Burns. The girls are fighting, Rory.
Yes.
Your girls are fighting.
My girls are fighting.
Misty has a crazy fucking entrance here. She's like I don't know how to describe it, but like, she's walking across a fucking boardwalk. There's fucking like water surrounding the premises. Like her entrance looks like visually is fucking spectacular here. Like I really love it so much. And again, with Misty, it's like this girl is only like a few months into her career, and she's already in a prominent position on an XC card against a former world champion. So it's like, sky's the fucking limit for this girl. Like, she's gonna. I want to see Misty with a spotlight title run. I know I've said that about like Schiff, but like, I want to see both of them with a spotlight title run. I think that spotlight title will do both of them wonders, but it will do Misty some fucking wonders, because I think pairing her with Avery, um, who I deem to be one of the greatest of all time, um, like Avery can carry anyone like to a great fucking match, and Misty is like no exception to that. But Misty, cool fucking entrance here, looks fucking fantastic. Avery's entrance here is also kind of crazy too. It's like it's Evangelion themed, Neon Genesis Evangelion. The fucking Lilith is on the cross. The fucking crosses are popping out on stage, and the Fishman's player to the ring. The motherfucking Fishmans play Avery Burns out to the ring live, and they kind of fucked up the entrance a little bit because Koloki, I think, pasted the stage before. I actually no, the theme song played, like the fucking song played right as Koloki pasted the stage, so Avery didn't have any fucking time to prepare, which was like really funny. Um, yeah, so Fishman's play Avery out to the ring. They brought fucking Shinji Sato back from the goddamn dead to play Avery out to the ring. Only in fucking Minecraft. Only in fucking Minecraft, but um yeah, Avery comes out with the Asuka fucking bodysuit, and then she takes it off to reveal this like new attire we haven't seen out of Avery, because Avery's attires aren't usually like looking like this, because Avery's attire for a little bit, like when she came back, was just like kind of all black. She kind of had like the black bra, had like the fucking skirt, like looking like Viney, uh Japanese trans wrestler. But Avery's got some new fucking hair. If you didn't notice, Avery doesn't have the black hair. She has new fucking hair. It's like I think she said it was Akira Hokuto hair. Um, Also really other prominent Japanese Joshi wrestler. So you can definitely see where like the Joshi influence is coming in with Avery. But this match is fucking phenomenal. I love this so much. I think this was a great technical match between Misty and Avery, and I really have no complaints about this, because I think a perfect story here was told. So, because like as we know, Misty was targeting Avery's arm in the first match. That's where Misty got that big fucking win. And everyone was like, holy shit, Misty just won a fucking match against Avery Burns. And that entire time, Misty was targeting Avery's arm to the point where like she caused it to bleed. But in this match, it's Avery returning the favor to Misty, with Avery working over Misty's arm. And I think that's like really fucking cool. So yeah, a great story told there. There were also a few callbacks in this match with Avery. She hit a psychosis on Misty, but she doesn't immediately go for the cover because like she sits there and she's like, "Oh my fucking god, I just hit the move. I just hit a move that belonged to the worst person ever. A guy who fucking made fun of me, made fun of my fucking dad who killed himself." And it still shows that like Avery still has unfinished business with Faywin and like calling back to him in that match. I think that's like really good fucking storytelling there. But also another good bit of storytelling is when like Avery hits the Morte Lumina, which is Sean Anderson's move on Misty. That sequence of Avery hitting like her worst people, like the worst people she's ever feuded with, like their finishers on Misty, because you know she's beside herself. She's not clearly thinking. I think that's a really good story told by Avery. But of course, the match ends with a new move called the Final Duet, which is the Axe Guillotine Driver. Um, but yeah, what a great technical fucking match this was. I appreciate the limb work in this match. Um, this makes Misty look really, really fucking good. Like, I love this. I think, like I said before, Misty is gonna do big things in the MWA. Future Spotlight champion. She's gonna have the fucking run of her life. Um, regarding Avery, I think Avery, like out of everyone I've ever seen live in Minecraft from last year when I joined all the way to now, I can confidently say that like Avery Burns is probably the greatest I've ever seen, the greatest I've worked with, and in my top five ever. Because if I had to do a top five, it's Avery, Jimmy, Steve, Taco, and Dobby. That's my top five. My top five right there. And Avery's like at the very top of that fucking list. Like, she's fucking phenomenal. And I think there's a reason why that like Nuck and Cruz have said like this girl is like a top 10 ever because of matches like this and like putting Misty on a fucking pedestal. Um but yeah, Avery gets the win here with a new move. And a great story was told here. Great technical shit. I loved it all around. No complaints from me. Rory, I'll let you start off this time because the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna be totally honest. During Misty's entrance, I low key started crying because I was just so proud of her.
Oh my god.
Um,
That's sweet. So sweet.
and the fact that she got on XC so quickly was just such an awesome moment. And they went out there and just it was a cook fest.
They
It
cooked.
was amazing. Yeah, the technical wrestling was awesome. Trying to work each other's limb. It was so cool, and Misty getting that breakout moment on the biggest stage of them all is really gonna elevate her career. And it doesn't matter if she lost or won that match. Like she's definitely in my eyes like a top player now in the MWA, and she's got a huge future ahead of her. And Misty able I feel like Misty's one of the few people that really was able to give Misty, that kind of opportunity to really shine because they've got amazing chemistry and
For sure.
just the story it was great. And I definitely think Avery benefited from this win more than Misty would have
Yeah, I would say
because
Avery
of what
benefited from
happened.
this win like a lot more than Misty, I would say. Because like now that Avery wins this match, I think she's gonna like I don't know if she's gonna like transition back into like the world title scene. Maybe like her and Doppel run it. We see like Avery and Doppel maybe at like the 12-year anniversary show. I think that would be a really good fucking match between Avery and Doppel. Like Avery being jealous of Doppel over the fact that like you beat my Pookie Bear. I was supposed to beat him for the belt. This was all about me. Now I'm gonna take back what's mine. And I think that'd be a really good story to tell with Avery and Doppel. I want to see them run it. I think that'd be fucking awesome.
Be really good.
Jacob, you have any thoughts on this match, buddy?
Yeah, I think the limb targeting was done really well and it really added to the story. I feel like limb targeting is not like as common in matches anymore, and that's not necessarily like a bad thing because I don't think it's like always needed. But I think the way it was used here is really good since it was like this is how I felt when you were doing it to me. I want you to know how bad I hurt, and Avery doing that to Misty was like really good. And I think the biggest takeaway was how well Avery was able to show like the change in her demeanor and how it like reflected her wrestling and how she talked and how she acted. Like I think like Avery's not a heel, but uh becoming more aggressive is one thing, but being able to actually show it in your matches and hitting like her enemies' moves, I think that was like really well done. One of the best examples I've seen of it. So I think that was really well performed by Avery.
Yeah, for sure. Um, like I said, Avery, um, one of the greatest of all time. I genuinely believe she is an all-time wrestler. I don't I'm so confident in saying that she is just a woman that like she can do anything she puts her mind to, and like her way of like thinking about wrestling is like almost unheard of. Cause Avery to me is like one of the very few people in this server and on the entire roster that has like the most like she has a different way of thinking about wrestling, and I think like a lot of more people need to genuinely appreciate that her mindset when it comes to like wrestling and like the dedication and the thought that she puts into it, and it all showed in this match with Misty. So I thought that was like really fucking done well. Um, so yeah, that's my fucking thoughts, and if that's your thoughts, um, we can move on to the co-main event. We got fucking Steve and Saints. My God, this was awesome. I love this hoss fight between two big boys. So Steve comes out first. Uh, fucking no nonsense. Fucking all business. Just fucking runs down that goddamn ramp. You see a whole crowd of people holding up Steve City flags. Steve's holding up the Steve City flag himself. Like, this dude is one of the greatest ever. This dude's on my fucking all-time list right here. Like, Steve is like that fucking guy, and I've said it before a million times. I'll say it a million more times. Steve needs to be given his flowers by a lot more people, I would say, because Steve, Steve's the fucking man, and we're gonna be closing in on the fucking summer Steve. And what I would really love to see is that Heat Wave. Steve beats Jacob Sterry for the world title in the main event, and he just goes on the fucking run of a lifetime until like execution. I think that like if it's not like world title win, I would want to see Steve like win the TV title from Tara, and then Steve like has a bunch of like fucking matches every week. Because I think Steve is like one of the best TV wrestlers like we have on the roster right now. I would confidently say. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that.
Steve comes out, he's fucking ready. Um, Saints comes out and aura. Like this dude coming out the fucking This Means War by Avenged Sevenfold. He's got the fucking like 10 years displaying on the Titantron. You know, he joined in 2015, now this is 2025. Saints has been doing this for 10 fucking years. This is the first time Saints has wrestled on Extreme Chaos since like 2017, I think, because I think Nuxon and Comms like this is Saints' first Extreme Chaos in 8 years. So his return match being against Steve, being at Extreme Chaos, is like fucking awesome. Like I think this was the match to do between like Steve and Saints. Because I've already said this a million times, and everyone knows my fucking thoughts about like what happened at Pandora 2024. You guys know the whole fucking story about that, but like I said, this match should have happened last year for the world title. Saints should have beat Milky at Pandora for the world title. Steve should have won the Rumble. Saints kick Steve out of the SCS. Steve has to go through like all the fucking hurdles possible, gets everything thrown in his face, but he still overcomes all those odds, still gets the Saints at Extreme Chaos and wins the belt. And then if you don't want to do that, and if you want to keep like things like neutral between Steve and Saints, like have that bit of animosity in there, but don't have them like physically attack each other. Just have like Steve or have like Saints put Steve through like a lot of tests. Like have him go up against like top caliber names or like everyone else that was in the SCS at the time. Actually, wait, no, because I think Locked Away was the show that fucking Tara and Hazel officially left the SCS. So at that point, it would have just been like Steve and Saints. So yeah, like I said, have Saints like put hurdles in front of Steve, have him go up against top caliber names, and Steve beats them. Saints is like, oh fuck, I might lose my title to this guy, but he's still a brother of mine. He's still my most important soldier. And then they have the match. Steve fucking wins the world title at XC. Then Taco does the whole cash in or whatever. But again, this is still like that would be the match to do last year at Extreme Chaos. But this is now, and we're finally getting this match. So it's better. It's better than like not having them wrestle at Extreme Chaos, I would say. But these two delivered on all fronts. Like Saints delivering like fucking so many German suplexes right off the bat. I almost ripped off my fucking shirt, and I said this means something to me. This match told me that this shit means something to me. God damn it, I love this match. So of course these two are big boys. They're fucking hosses. Throwing bombs at each other. Um, the craziest thing about this match is that this is the shortest match in the entire XC card. This only clocked in at 9 minutes and 28 seconds. And in just under 10 minutes, these two told me why, like, I love this shit so much. But also, not just because of that, like, Saints just kicking Steve's ass the entire fucking time. And Steve, like, getting that big comeback in. But also, like, the finish of the match, too, where, like, we see, like, the fucking lightning bolt come down on, like, Kev's head that like Steve like Saints brought fucking Kev's head out to the ring, mind you, and he put his head on a pike. And then we see like the big lightning bolt at the end of the match. And then like Kev's head is missing. The pike goes missing too. And out comes fucking Kev. Kev just appears out of fucking thin air. Kev is fucking immortal. No god can die. And he gives Steve the god powers. He enters the ring. He gives Steve god powers. And Steve fucking goes to work on Saints. He hits his fucking moves. He's hitting the fucking Steve. He's hitting the Steve specials here. Like all the fucking moves are here, baby. He's hitting all the fucking signature moves. And he hits the spear on Saints. 1, 2, 3. And Steve gets to fucking win in Extreme Chaos in just under 10 minutes. This was a really great fucking match, I would say. A great hoss fight between two big boys. And I think a good story here was told. Saints having that like power over Steve in the ring, I think told that big story because that was always the story in the SCS. Like, Steve being Saints' biggest soldier, but Saints just having all that power over him, and the fact they told it in the match by like Saints just like destroying Steve like almost the entire time is so good. Because in a lot of matches, I don't like something I don't like is like in a lot of matches where like it's 50-50 between like two wrestlers. I like it when like one guy has more control over Steve. So like in this case it's Steve with like 70, it's like Saints with 75% of the offense and Steve with like 25% of the offense. And I think like that like idea being incorporated in this match is really fucking good and they told it well. Um but yeah, great fucking match, insane finish. The right winner won. And yeah, this is the last time we see Kev, and Saints is stepping away for a little while. So yeah, big things to come out of this with Steve now probably being alone. I would say Steve's on his own again. I think unless Kev just starts appearing again as like a manager, or maybe it was his last appearance, like saying like last in-ring appearance or just like last appearance in general. I don't know, maybe. So if Steve's on his own again, then like put a title on the guy, world title, Heat Wave, Jacob Sterry, have him beat him. Fucking Steve wins, holds the world title until execution, or just have him win the TV title. Just have him have fucking matches. Just let him wrestle every week. I need to see this guy wrestle every week. But yeah, Steve's the fucking GOAT. My top 5 ever. All I gotta say. So, Jacob, any thoughts on this match?
Yeah, so I thought it was like a really good match. Obviously, like, I mean, you've already touched on a lot of the points. It's a hoss fight. I love hoss fights. And uh, I think like the major takeaways is number one, Kev coming back. He did give Steve the divine touch. So I don't know how much that's actually gonna be like incorporated. If Steve's actually gonna like have the Mo fucking God powers now, if that was just for the match. But Steve did make like a Twitter post flying in the air, so it'd be really funny if Steve ended his run as the Mo fucking God Steve.
Oh my god, that'd be
But
fucking awesome.
yeah, I think another thing you pointed out that Steve should win that world title, and initially when he lost the world title match, I was like. I mean, I kind of expected that to be like his last opportunity, which is why like I was like, if that's being booked in the first place, I think they're doing that because he's not gonna have another match. But he just had a really big win at Extreme Chaos, and like I don't really know like what direction he would go in besides challenging for a title. And I can't even begin to kind of think how they would wrap up his career. You know, I think I think Tree coming back is a long shot, but I think it'd be really cool to see Steven Tree one last time, maybe at a execution, and maybe the way they set that up is Steve does win the world title or a title, and then he is cost to the title and it ends up being Tree, so that'd be interesting. Although I don't know if Tree's coming back, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think
No, he's not ever called. You gotta pay him up front first. Chi would be the only guy on the roster that's like getting paid up front. Like, just
yeah.
give this dude like $50. Like, give him like $15 like each appearance, and just have him do shit. Like,
Well,
I healed
if he came
treetops.
back
I healed
if he
treetops.
came back, oh my bad. Go
Oh no
ahead.
no, you're good. But a healed tree toss would be very interesting to see because obviously I wasn't here
Yeah.
for a lot of tree shit, but like from what I've seen, like he is like he's been a babyface his whole career. I think.
Mhm.
I don't think he's ever had
Mhm.
like a heel run in particular, unless I'm like mistaken, of course. But yeah, that is an interesting thought. Like they somehow get Tree to come back and they run him and Steve. Like Steve's the babyface, Tree is the heel, and they run that one last time at fucking execution. I think that'd be fucking awesome.
If he came back for Omega, I'd like to think he'd come back to put his brother out of retirement, but maybe Steve's gonna have to pay him to have that one last match.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
uh, yeah, just some general good shit here, I would say, from Steven Saints. Um, Rory, any thoughts on this? Any thoughts on the match?
This was probably like my second match of the night. I was super hyped for this match because like I know somewhat of like the history with SCS because I started watching in 2020. Um, and seeing this match, it was so awesome. And fun fact about his entrance for Saint's entrance, I was one of the only people that knew what his attire was themed about, and I think that was really cool. Um,
What was it?
he was dressed as someone called Aaron Keener from the Division Two, was a Division game, and
Hmm.
like I've talked to him about that game before, and I feel like I'm the only soul that knew what that was.
Yeah.
But
I will say the
the
entire
match,
fu- Oh no, you go ahead.
you could say.
Oh, I was just gonna say like Saints coming out with like no elbow pads, no wrist tape, just like like just in like black fucking pants, like that's fucking awesome right there. That's just so fucking cool. Saints just like all fucking muscle. He doesn't need wrist tape, doesn't need elbow pads. He's just kicking Steve's ass the entire time. I thought that was awesome. You can go ahead.
He's a fucking beast. Yeah, seeing Saints and Steve just go to work and Saints delivering like a million German suplexes. It was truly an awesome match, and also everyone in the crowd holding the Steve City flags was an awesome visual.
Yeah.
And be part of that. And Kev fucking just coming back to give Steve the divine touch was so awesome. Um, but what I do have a bit of a gripe with that, and but it's not like a bad thing. I feel like if Steven Saints were on night two, I feel like that would have made the Kev moment a little bit more crazier because it would have been a whole night after that match that he got decapitated, and I feel like it would have gotten an even bigger pop. But other than that, it was still just a fucking ridiculous moment, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing because like I got message in the group chat because me and Equinox were supposed to be the co-main of night one, but I think Steve was the one who told me like, yeah, how does it feel getting your match switched because Kev couldn't make night two? And I was like, oh fuck, that's why my match got switched night two. So that's why I think like that does make a lot more sense now that you mention it. Like Kev being decapitated on night one, and then them kind of just like I wouldn't say like bum rush it or like you know like them
Yeah.
just like rushing to like do the Kev revival thing one last time, but that does make a lot more sense. So I think it would make a lot more sense if like that match was on like Steven Saints were on night two and like they do the Kev spot, which gets like the bigger fucking pop, but it was still fucking shocking nonetheless. It was still fucking like crazy to see in real time, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, great fucking match, great post match, or no, great finish. Um, yeah, a lot to come out with that fucking match. Kevin Saints are gone. Steve's there. Big things coming for Steve. Put a towel on the guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the co-main. So regarding assuming we don't have any more thoughts, we're gonna move on to the fucking main event. It's main event time, fellas. We got fucking Jacob Sterry defending
Yeah.
the world title against Rich and Jimmy Sens. Rich comes out first, and holy fuck, this might be the greatest Rich entrance I've ever seen. This dude, this is like if 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 there was a picture underneath the word aura in the dictionary, uh, uh, this image, this fucking entrance, an image of this entrance would be like right there. Holy fuck! Like, of course, this is like symbolism for Drix because Drix also did this entrance at XE5 where he pulled Excalibur out from the fucking ground, but Rich doing it here and like, God, this dude looks so fucking awesome. He's got the fucking cape and everything. Like, I think Rich was kind of like the third wheel in this entire feud because I've had my disagreements about this like build up. I thought it was like kind of bad, but like this match fucking made up for it, and this entrance like kind of like I don't know if I would say made up for like Rich's like for like the entire like build for like or how or like Rich's involvement for this entire build, but this entrance makes him look so fucking cool. Like why haven't we been like fucking seeing this Rich? Like where did this Rich go? Like where was this Rich hiding this entire time? Rich wasn't this fucking cool in the build up. Rich is like the coolest person ever during this fucking entrance. Like this guy's fucking awesome. Um yeah, so Rich comes out first and then we've already talked about the Jimmy entrance where like he comes out on the fucking airplane. He's got fucking Master of Puppets playing right behind him. Comes out on the parachute, crashes into the ground. The he doesn't die somehow. He fucking survives. But Jimmy's here looking to win another world title, become a two-time champion. Uh, yeah, good. I want to say good entrance, but it was more funny than it was like good. I would say. Um, yeah. So of course the champ comes out, Jacob Sterry. But before that, there's a pre-video, like a pre-match video, where it's kind of like it's almost kind of like that one entrance that Bret Hart had with like the little kid, and like the kid is like, "Look, it's Bret Hart," and then Bret Hart does the fucking turn, and Bret Hart gives like the glasses to the kid. Like that's what this reminded me of. But also there was very remnants of like it's that segment, but it's also like the Miz like hype package from like WrestleMania fucking what was it, the 2011 one. It was like WrestleMania 27 I think it was where he like where the Miz was facing John Cena for the world title. Um that was really fucking ass, but like the hype package for the Miz video like it definitely showed here because like Jacob was like in front of like fucking monitors in a dimly lit room. Like you could see the back view of Jacob's head like yeah, that took like some fucking like the fucking Miz is Mania 27 hype package. Like it really showed in this Jacob package. Um, so it cuts to like fans like cheering Jacob on, like yeah, yeah, Jimmy, love you, Jacob. And I think Jacob said like this almost didn't get used just because of that part right there, where like people are cheering Jacob, because that's like the least imaginable fucking thing ever. People cheering Jacob Sterry. That's like impossible. Um, but yeah. So I think like right before that, like Jacob's walking through like his past selves, and you can see like a lot of his old skins. Like there's fucking bald ass Jacob Sterry. There's fucking Law and Order Jacob Sterry. There's Takeoff Jacob Sterry. Yeah, all the Jacob Sterries are there, and Jacob's walking right past them because this is the Jacob Sterry of right now. This is the fucking goat Jacob Sterry. And then we see Cruz like, Jacob, Jacob, what are you doing? Get out there. So then Jacob, we see like the Jacob like walk out of the entrance, and then we go back into the actual fucking Minecraft game, and there's Jacob Sterry with the world title over the shoulder. Um, I think he was coming out to a cover of Painted Black by the Rolling Stones, but it was like a cover of it by like
Yeah.
a woman. Yeah. Um. So yeah, of course you hear me do the whole fucking introduction, and Jacob, I remember it was like you were one of the people that like whispered me after I did like his old fucking intro that said like that was a great fucking intro. I think it was you, it was Hazel, and it
Yeah,
was
I did.
Wildcard. Yeah. So yeah, much appreciated. Yeah, great fucking interest is here setting the precedent for this match, and holy fuck, this match delivered so much. This is my match of the night. This is a match of the year contender right here. Like this match is so fucking good. This match is phenomenal in terms of like three-way dances. Like this rules. This match fucking rules big time. Um, so of course it's just nuts to butts. Really, this fucking triple threat, fucking insane shit here. Um, of course, we see all the big moves here. Jimmy, calls back to the ultimate L in the match. Rich does the big fucking dives. Jimmy does the dives as well. Jacob just trying to steal the win any way he can. There's also a moment in this match I think where like Rich has the belt in his hands, and I think yeah, Rich has the belt in his hands, like that whole like Dark Arya symbolism shit. And I think he goes to hit Jimmy with it, but Jacob intervenes like right before like Rich can like use the belt as a weapon. And I think Jacob also tried to use the belt as a weapon too. So like that belt, like the physical belt itself, had some like story in it, and I think I really appreciate that from like this match in general because yeah. So you know just a really fun. No, I don't want to use the word fun. I don't like using the word fun at all. It's just a really great match here. This triple threat match for the world
Fighting.
title, I would say. Um, obviously the finish we see Jacob Sterry hit the clean slate on Rich. 1, 2, 3. Jacob walks out with the world title. He's still the champion, and people are fucking pissed. Um, I thought the right person won here. Honestly, I think Jacob needed to like retain the belt. I don't think that like the thing with Rich is like he's good, but I just think I don't know. I wouldn't put the world title on Rich. Like if I have a roster full of people and you know I'm picking anyone to put like to take the title off Jacob. I don't think Rich would be like one of the first people that come to mind, which is like a crazy thought because it's like Rich was like one of the like everyone predicted that like you know what? Yeah, Rich is gonna win the Rumble. Rich is gonna win that Rumble, and Nuck said like yeah, there were three people that were gonna win that Rumble. It was gonna be either me, Rich, or fucking Doppel, and people just chose or no, not people, but like they chose Doppel to be the winner of that Rumble. But you know, I think a Rumble win could have benefited Rich. I wouldn't have him win the belt though. Um, not the world title. I would think like the spotlight title would be like more of Rich's forte fucking you know what I'm trying to say fucking whatever
Uh,
yeah, yeah, more it would be more of Rich's speed sort of say, but um yeah, right winner here. I think a good story was told out throughout this match, cause God, I'm trying to remember. Fucking Jimmy and Rich, they have some moments together. Like just everyone in this match is like history with each other. Like, Jacob and Rich being former tag partners, Jacob and Jimmy being former rivals, fucking Rich and Jimmy, being former friends now enemies. You know, like this whole match had like they all had history with each other throughout this match, and I think that's really fucking cool. I would say. Um, of course, we see in the post match, like after Jacob leaves, like the show's not over because like Jimmy is like pouring his fucking heart out to Rich. He's like, we got into this fucking mess all because of you. It is all your fucking fault that we are in this goddamn mess. Fuck you. I hate you. I hate wrestling. I hate this goddamn shit. I'm done. I quit. I'm letting my contract expire. I fucking hate my life. I'm gonna kill myself. All that kind of shit. And then Jimmy leaves. Like a really fucking depressing ending, which like is so different from like the night 2 ending, I would say. Like you have like a really fucking depressing ending here, then like one of the greatest moments ever the next night. So they like balance each other out well, I would say. Like with Jacob retaining his belt and Jimmy leaving the company,
Yeah,
allegedly.
I think that was a really good choice to end the show like that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, just great stuff all around here. Really good main event from these three. These three delivered. Um, I don't think I would have any nitpicks about this match, really. I know there was like a couple people kind of like mad, not mad, but like a couple people that said that like Jimmy needs to stop using the Ultimate L as a move. I don't know if I would agree with that. I would think Jimmy could still use the Ultimate L, like in matches, because like he had that big match with Ult. He didn't win, but I would still think that like Jimmy should like use the move as like a callback to Ult, because as we know, like Jimmy did pin Ult in the fucking the War Chamber back at Point Blank. So that started a defining moment for Jimmy Sins. And I think that Jimmy, like using the Ultimate L, kind of like in the same vein how like I use Koloki's Hellbent is like, I think that's really fucking awesome, I would say. But um yeah, just great stuff all around here. Fucking the match itself, the post match shit. Yeah, really great stuff. Jacob, do you have any more comments on this, like this match in general?
Yeah, so I have a couple of things to comment on. I think the first thing I want to comment on is I'm not a rich hater. I think that's like the wrong term to use because hater would mean you just like don't like somebody. I
Yeah,
think the proper term would be like I wasn't necessarily a rich believer before the match. There's a couple of things that were just like awkward about the whole like build up. Like I know a lot of people criticize how Dark Arya played out. I That's not really my issue. Um, I just like I didn't believe Rich as a main eventer at first, and then obviously in the build, which like would have been used to really submit him in that spot, there were some really awkward moments, like the first interaction between
yeah,
him and Jacob Sterry. It was just like a little bit of an awkward build. But I think the thing that changed my mind on that is like the entrance for Rich. I think him being the first one enter and just like the whole build up to that, the symbolism of the Excalibur and just like the beautiful stage, like I think that's like when it first set in for me. Like, yeah, he definitely deserves this spot, and it was like a really good entrance, uh, and I don't know, I don't think I expected Rich to win. I did put him in the question of the day as winning, but. I think he definitely like changed my mind, not just with the entrance, but the match as well. So I want to give Rich his props for that.
hell yeah,
And but going into the match itself, I think there's some there's some things that did really well. The opening, of course, there's an existing team between Rich and Sterry, and then Rich and Jimmy before. Or they had all team or yeah, Rich had teamed with both of them, so he knows both of them really well. So I think the idea of them all countering their moves, and then Rich hitting like the high angle senton followed by the moonsault, like it was like a really fun opening. They were all hitting each other. That's kind of the vibe they kept the entire match. But
yeah,
Rich knows both of them better than Jimmy and Jacob Sterry know each other. So I think that was a cool thing to see Rich kind of like know how to counter both. And I think one of the best things about this match was Jacob Stairs' heel work. I said this in my question of the day response. I, I think like okay, this isn't a bad thing, but I think some of the stuff Jacob Stairs does is cliche. It's like people expect him to do that, and it's overused. But the thing I said is, despite it being that way, he still does it in a way that's so well and so clever that like it doesn't matter, and it's still very fun to watch and consume. There's one moment in the match where Jimmy and Rich are like arguing, and you see Jacob in the corner, and Rich has the belt in his hand, and Jacob pushes Rich, and he hits Jimmy with the belt. Like obviously it was coming, and obviously that's like a heel tactic. But I don't know, it just works so well, and I think Jacob's just so clever in ring. And yeah, I think Jacob really played his roles to a T in this match, because you know if you're heel in this position, you have Rich who's hungry for the title but is so conflicted, and you have Jimmy who's also hungry to get the title back but is also conflicted. Jacob didn't really have any like emotional connection to either guys in the match. They were just kind of like in his way. And I think the way they portrayed that really worked out. Like Jacob didn't care who he fucked over in the match, and that's ultimately why he retained. And I think that was really cool to see play out. And then obviously, we already touched on this before. Actually, before I go to post match, I want to say Jimmy's entrance was like a little awkward, just because
Yeah.
uh, on the actual like YouTube video, me too. Like when the plane first went by, I was like really confused because Jimmy didn't jump out and he kind of just like disappeared. So I was like, what? And then the plane went by again and Jimmy came out. And where I was sitting in the arena, it was like kind of hard to see where he was when he landed. And obviously he didn't have slow falling on, so it kind of just like fell down. So the entrance was like a little confusing, but it was still really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then Darius, of course, was really amazing. And you mentioned the Bret Hart thing, and I was just thinking while you were saying that, I was like, it'd be really funny if you did how MJF did it. It was
Oh
just
my
like,
god. Yeah.
go fuck yourself, kid.
No, I think it was like MJF like fucking like he whispered something to the kid and the kid looks at his dad and he's like, "Am I adopted?"
Yeah, it was something like that.
That would have been fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I would have loved that instead, but yeah, it's still a great fucking entrance.
Yeah, that entrance is really cool. And then the post match, I think like this is a testament to how unique and clever Nuck's booking is. Like, obviously, it's the first 2 night Extreme Chaos, so there's a lot more to experiment with. But you know, conventionally, matches or shows like this are gonna end with like a feel good moment, or if not a feel good moment, it's gonna be like the heel celebrating, going out on top. But the fact that it ended with this Jimmy and Rich staring at each other, and then having the argument, and then Jimmy just leaving the helmet, and Rich just sitting there with like no theme music playing, no announcers. I think that was like a really unique touch, and I think it was really well delivered.
Yeah, definitely. I Something to touch on about this match in general, just like each person having a motive going into the match and having like their big like own story. Like Jacob obviously being like the heel, um, like him not wanting to work Extreme Chaos and be like, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna fucking work Extreme Chaos. Rich and Jimmy both, no, they both lost. I'm gonna go watch the show, and then fucking, you know, Hydra's coming out on the go home and being like, no, you're fucking working Extreme Chaos whether you fucking like it or not, piece of shit. And then Rich obviously like, you know, all his tag partners winning the belt. First it was B-Dubs, then it was Jimmy, and then it was Jacob. You know, so he's hungry for that world title to finally win that world title and be like, yeah, I can win the world title too, just like my fucking teammates did. And then Jimmy, obviously, you know, being the most traumatized fucking person ever, you know, having like what a terrible year for Jimmy. Like, not in terms of like in ring shit, but like terrible in terms of like his relationship with a lot of people. Like his relationship with Breezy's down the shitter, his relationship with Avery's down the shitter, his relationship with fucking Rich is down the shitter. Like this dude is the most depressed human being in the world. Like it, Jimmy. just had his fucking birthday, like, I think a couple weeks ago, and, like, he had that big argument with Avery, and fucking Jimmy was just on Unleash. He was fucking depressed. He was sad. Um, you know, like, this dude is the most traumatized person ever, I would say. And, I think all those stories, like, clashing in this match, it was portrayed very well. So, just good shit all around here, yeah, some good fucking shit. Rory, any thoughts on this match? Post-match? Anything?
Yes. So, for my first live XC beta event, it was absolutely stellar. I was so excited for this. The entrances were so awesome, and also for Jacob Sterry's entrance, Mr. Jonathan Colt. My poor ears.
I pause.
You you stupid ass chicken nugget motherfucker
Chicken. Wait.
glazed
Whoa,
him
whoa, whoa, whoa.
so hard.
Chicken nugget. What the fuck do you mean by chicken nugget? Am I built like a chicken nugget? Is that what you're trying to say?
Ask Dobby. But you wanted to glaze him so hard, and my poor ears had to deal with that. So fuck you. But other
Oh,
than that, yeah, it was awesome
I gotta
intro.
support my boy. I gotta support my boy. What are you talking about? That's the man right there, Jacob Sterry. He's the man.
By God, woo! Yeah, it was great. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out. But yeah, what a match! This was probably one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen in Minecraft wrestling. Um, it was truly special. And it did end on a pretty shitty note though. And I'm kind of worried because like I don't want Jimmy to go. Please no. But yeah, truly a crazy way to end the show.
Yeah, just crazy shit altogether. Like this whole show, right? This whole show is fucking crazy. Like, like so many fucking crazy moments coming out of this. Like, Kev fucking dying, Avery, using fucking people she hates, finishing moves, fucking Kev coming back from the dead, Jimmy leaving the fucking company. Like, so much crazy shit to come out of this. I would say, like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole show was just fucking insane. So, yeah, that's fucking Extreme Chaos Night 1. Uh, really set the precedent for Night 2, I would say. But such a great fucking show this was. I love this. This was a great fucking show. Um, they'll just Dobby and Jacob will be on tomorrow to discuss Night 2, which was like a fantastic fucking show. Like, if you put those two XCs together, like Night 1 and Night 2, like, this might be the greatest show ever. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, that's Extreme Chaos Night 1. Overall, fucking all-time shit right here. Everyone fucking delivered, I would say. Shiv, Kev, Jacob, Adam, Misty, Avery, Steve, Saints, Jacob, Rich, and Jimmy. All of them fucking delivered on all fronts here, and I'm proud to have called this one with Nuck. Um, yeah, just some awesome shit here. Love everybody. Love Minecraft wrestling. Love this niche. Yeah, really all I gotta say. Any departing thoughts here, Jacob, Rory?
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree. It was a fun show. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. I think it delivered. I think everybody did their part. Show was amazing, and I want to give a shout out to Kaloki, Steve, EQ, Taco. I think Schiff had a part in it. Breezy, Dobby, and then Nuck and Colt for commentating. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but like obviously a lot of these entrances are not possible without the help of a lot of people with the pyro and the builds and the world
Yeah.
editing. So.
Yeah, shout out to all my homies on the production team. Love that group chat slash server. So yeah, Rory, any departing thoughts?
uh, it was such a awesome experience, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, well on that note, that's the podcast. Yeah, really not much to comment on. So yeah, thank you all for listening in, and this will be dropped tonight, and tomorrow you're gonna get another podcast with Night 2. You're gonna get Jacob, Dobby, and 2 other guests. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.